What is happening, people? Welcome back to Gooner Down Under TV, and it's been a couple days. There was no way I was making a video right after the game because I definitely would have got fired. I definitely would be jobless right now. You know what I mean? It would have been one of those. It would have been one of those. So we needed to calm down a little bit, try and level our heads a little bit. Has it worked? No, because as soon as I'm talking right now, furious. You know, I'm furious. I'm mad. I'm boiling. But let's get into it. Just before we do, please, if it's your first time on the channel, please like and subscribe. It really does help out. Now, let's get into this damn game. Arsenal, Brighton. Look, I've seen a lot of content creators, a lot of people online talking about Arsenal fans complaining with the refs, this and that. You know, if you're complaining about the ref, it means you probably didn't play well enough. You know, always blaming the refs after every bad loss. To a point, I get that. You know, you don't want to look at the refs all the time. And honestly, last 2 seasons, I think I've probably been very critical of the ref twice. Newcastle, I thought that was a horror goal. I'm still quite vexed about it. And this one, man, this one was an absolute horror show. Now, we'll get into the game analysis as well. All right, we will. Trust me, we will. And could Arsenal have still won the game regardless of what the ref did? Yes. But, you know, we are also going up against Man City, who it feels like an impossible task. It really does. You have to be so perfect for so long. Honestly, any dropped point, you feel like it's already done. That's just the juggernaut we're sort of going up against. The best manager in the world, arguably all time. You can sort of have that debate. Best goal scorer in the world right now, Haaland, already has 7 goals in 3 games. What? Like what? We're not even going to talk about that. De Bruyne, one of the best midfielders. Foden's coming up. Hasn't even played yet. Rodri hasn't even played yet. And they're still winning every game with ease. Now, that's what you're going up against. So to match that, you have to be equally as perfect, a little bit more so, right? When you're doing your job against the Brighton team, who's a tough team, you know, they have Matoma, they have Minte, they have João Pedro, they're a dangerous team. Up until that incident with the red card, we were doing nothing. We were the one creating chances. They created nothing. Even with all their dangerous outlets, they did absolutely nothing. Yes, they had some possession, but it didn't even lead to anything. You know, we were the team creating chances. We were the team in the lead. We were 1-0 up. And then the ref just, look, they want to be a superhero. They want to be a superhero and put themselves in this equation. Now, we can talk about João Pedro not getting a yellow for booting the ball probably 30 meters. I know, you know, different countries use different measurements. What do you want? 45 feet, 30 yards, whatever you want to say. Booted that damn ball. Ref was like, yeah, it's all right. Play on, all good. First minute of the game, Saka gets dragged down by the shirt. No letter of the law talk there. Why? I don't know. Now, I'm not saying there's a corruption against Arsenal. Although it feels like it at times, it genuinely does. I know other teams also get screwed by this. Bournemouth is one example. I feel like Wolves, especially last season, so many times. We know it's incompetent refs. We do. We just do. But I feel like there's also certain teams that don't get screwed over. Man City. How many times Rodri does some horrendous tackles, doesn't get a yellow? I remember even Kovacic. Was he at Man City? Was he at Chelsea? I can't even remember. Horrendous, murderous. He would be in trial anywhere outside of that football pitch. Did not get sent off. Multiple dangerous challenges. No sending. Ends up scoring the goal. We lose the game. Whatever. I'm not salty. You know what I mean? Rodri, the amount of challenges he makes with no yellow card. If that was Xhaka, you know his whole family would be deported. You know they would be sent halfway across the world. It just seems like there's double standards. Brighton. Same play. Not even same play. So much worse. They boot the ball. No yellow. They grab the jersey. No yellow. Partey does it. Bam. Instant yellow. Rice nudges the ball so damn softly. Now, so damn softly that even if he was trying to kick it, the amount of time Brighton wasted complaining wasted way 100 times more time than what Declan did. Beyond that, the ball was rolling, so it shouldn't have even been a free kick. The ball was rolling against the rules. Where's the letter of the law there? Doesn't matter. My man kicks through Declan Rice. I don't know if you guys watch MMA, anything like that, but even in training, you guys hear, when you punch, you want to punch through someone. My man kicked through Declan Rice. He was trying to take that knee out. He was trying to do something. He was trying to hope that he maybe never walks again. I don't know. What was that? Not even looked at. Not even looked at. My gosh. Yeah. And then Declan gets sent off. Now, why am I complaining about it so much? Yes, we know the referees are bad. Yes, Arsenal still had their chances, but football is so difficult. It's not, we're versus a fourth division team or something. Brighton is a top team who could make any team suffer, right? So we're doing our job against them. It's 1-0. We're the team creating chances. We're stifling them. They're not really doing anything. Again, we're in the lead. We miss chances, but we're also more likely to be the team that creates more based on how the game went. And then you flip all of that on its head. All of it on its head. Yes, Havertz missed a chance after where he did so, he did really well to even create. But he had 2 chances. He made 1. He executed 1, missed the other. Haaland misses chances. Now, I'm not saying Havertz is Haaland, no way. But the best of the best miss chances. You know what I mean? It was a pretty decent save as well. Did he put necessarily enough behind it? No. But you get 1, you get 2 chances, you make 1. That's a damn good day for a striker. Also did some link-up play, also roughed up the centre-backs, did his thing. I don't know why there's so much talk about this proves we need a striker. Now look, do I think we need another striker in the team to create depth? Yes. But don't just pigeonhole an agenda every single time, even if it doesn't make sense. This game did not prove we need a striker. Our striker, 2 chances, 1 goal. All the other chances fell to other players. Maybe you could say if we had a striker, he would be in that position and that person wouldn't, but then even then, that's a stretch. Odegaard, 2 games in a row, missed chances. Saka, missing chances again. I don't think we can really look at Havertz. What the hell am I saying, dude? Let's get back on these refs. What? I'm all over the shop today. I'm all over the shop. It's been a couple days and I'm re-feeling the emotions. Anyway, ref wants to be a hero. Changes the game. If it was a game where, we weren't creating chances, if it's a game that we weren't necessarily dominating, we weren't in the lead especially, if it was still 0-0, I'd be looking at Arsenal a lot more. I'd be looking at the chances missed. I'd be not cussing the players. I don't really, or maybe I cuss, maybe in the moment. But, I try not to spread too much hate. I'd be looking at the players a lot more. I'd be looking at Arteta's decisions a lot more. But we had the lead. We were 1-0 up. The game looked like it was all but over. We've seen Arsenal control games so much. I honestly don't think Brighton would have created anything significant. I think we could have even won 1-0, although I think if we had 11, we'd create a whole lot more. We'd probably end up going 2-3-0. So that's why I'm looking at the refs more. I think if you're, saying, blaming the refs, Arsenal, excuses, I feel like that's just naive, man. I feel like it is. I feel like it's the easy thing to bash players. They get enough hate. They really do. Especially when, they were doing their thing. We were winning the game. We were winning the game until the ref turned it on its head. Yes, after then we still had chances, but also every player is running that much more to cover up for no Rice in the midfield. By the time they get to the goal, yes, of course they're elite athletes. By the time they get there, the amount of concentration they have is diminished. The amount of, power in their legs is diminished. It's tough, man. It's tough. You're going up against Brighton. The amount of talent they have as well, even their bench is stacked. I just think it's a freaking shame, man. I reckon it's a shame. The fact that we're already 2 points behind City, it's a long season. Do I necessarily want to be looking at that? No. But we just know we're already playing catch up. And to be honest, look, I get on the team when I feel like I need to get on the team. This is not one of those situations. I feel like this is another time we've been screwed over. Like I said, shouldn't have even been a thing. Ball was still rolling, which means it's a foul free kick. How can you delay a foul free kick? Okay. 2, my man kicked it into Rice. So Rice was already far enough away. He could have, if he would have taken the free kick from where it was meant to be, it would have been no issue. 3, the only reason it was an issue is because Rice went down. If he didn't get down, there's no way the ref would have said anything. So my man got yellow carded for getting kicked through his damn legs. I don't know. For me, none of it makes sense. First challenge, I can understand why that's a yellow. I don't really have an issue with that. Beyond that, the rules in general are so dense. So dense. The fact that you can VAR a straight red, right, but you can't VAR a second yellow, which have the same outcome. Yes, one is 3-game suspension, one's a 1-game suspension. But in the course of that match, they both result in a team going down to 10 men. You know, even if you want to say you can't review the first one and then maybe it's a slippery slope, at least the one, review the actual challenge that gets someone sent off. You know, for the most part, yes, players do need to be more cautious when they're on that first yellow. So, you know, they sort of have to take that into advantage or take that into consideration, this and that. But when it's something like that there was so many things going against it. The inconsistency in the officiating, João Pedro not getting it. The inconsistency in Veltman not getting red carded for kicking through my man. Like, surely something has to be able to be VAR'd there. Something. But I think I've talked about it enough. Regardless, yes, we should be finishing our chances. Like I said, in a game like that, where the ref just wants to be the hero, when the ref just wants to throw the game away. Look, I don't like talking about refs. I really don't, but they're just so inadequate. And even worse, it's like a dictatorship. If any player would have come out saying something, they get fined. What is that? Why are they so protected? Why? At the end of the day, if Arsenal lose by 2 points, let's say, and, you know, this never gets brought up again. The ref's not questioned for their decision. Arteta is, though. He might get sacked. Players might get dropped, you know, for not winning again, for failing again. What about the refs? They probably get a paid vacation. Hey, good job. You know, maybe 3 weeks in the championship, you know, and you come right back. And let's not even talk about the amount of proper hideous calls this one ref has made on Arsenal specifically. But we're done. We're done with it. Rest of the game, I thought we played well. First 20 minutes, we looked sharp. We're creating a lot of chances. Like I said, Saka should have probably scored a couple. Odegaard definitely should have scored his. I thought Havertz's goal was good. It wasn't the most difficult goal, but he did exactly what he needed to do. That's what matters. And now the issue is against Tottenham, our midfield is looking weak. We have no Rice. Mikel Merino's out for definitely months. Let's not even talk about that. I'll get even more annoyed. But the issue is, what do we do now? What do we do? This is, you know, I don't want to necessarily talk about the transfer window too much, but this is why I wanted to also get Fabian Ruiz with Mikel Merino. Yes, it was mainly because they're two different outlets, and, you know, depending on the team, you can use them differently or sparingly. They give you different advantages, different cons. But I also thought we were light. Even before we got rid of Fabio Vieira. It looked like Smith Rowe was going, so I sort of took that into consideration. But before we even let Fabio Vieira go, I thought we needed 2 8s. You know, I don't want to see Rice play the 8 too often. Yes, Partey, Rice, Odegaard sounds like a fantastic midfield. I just don't think Rice necessarily offers enough week in, week out. I think some games, let's say City away, I want that midfield. Brighton at home, do we necessarily need it? Probably not. I want a bit more dynamism from my 8. You know, that's why I said Fabian Ruiz. I thought he'd be freaking perfect. He would be perfect playing next to Odegaard with Rice sitting. But it didn't happen. You know, so now means we're sort of screwed. We have a few options. Either we change our complete formation, we go into a double pivot, 2 DMs, Jorginho, Partey, and I think that can get easily overrun. You know, you saw what Rodgers did to us when we played Aston Villa. We had a full midfield there and we got absolutely bullied. I think we can get very exposed in that midfield with both of them. I think Partey's lost a step. Jorginho's never had the step. Yes, you know, he's got his intelligence, and that is, you know, one of the best I've seen. And he can read the game, but he just doesn't have the physical attributes. Against Tottenham, it's going to be a tough game. I'm remembering what he did against Tottenham last season as well, especially at home. And I'm honestly not convinced. I'm not convinced about playing Partey and Jorginho. For me, Partey needs to stay in that 6, and we need to figure out who to play next to him. And for me, it's 2 options. There's Zinchenko as well, but I think if Arteta ever planned on doing that, we would have seen it by now. We would have definitely seen it by now. It's just not happening. For me, there's 2 more. Nwaneri, 17, looked good in pre-season, but it's pre-season. Can we really chuck him away in the North London derby? Um, I'd gamble it. I feel like we really don't have that many options. Or two, maybe we chuck in Yuri and Timber. You know, Arteta, I think, briefly talked about how he sees him maybe playing midfield, how he's got the attributes for it. And I think he's dynamic enough, he's quick enough, he can drive with the ball. Is he necessarily the creator I was talking about I wanted as an 8? No. I think similar to Rice, maybe he's not the most dynamic passer, things like that. But I think he can definitely do some damage in the 8. That also allows us to play Calafiori at left back, be a little bit more sturdy in the back. Timber can even, you know, drop at times. We'll play a 5-2-3. We can muck around with that formation a little bit. I think Timber allows us the most versatility. Also, for most parts of the game, genuinely plays midfield. It's not like he's a left back inverting. A lot of times he genuinely just moves to midfield. Alongside Partey, they are sort of two, even though I said double pivot, they basically are that. So maybe even if we change the formation, he could be that instead of Jorginho. Allows us to bring on Jorginho in case Partey maybe goes down, gets tired, anything like that. But I think he would be the best solution. It's a gamble, but I feel like any option's really a gamble. Partey, Jorginho together is a gamble. Timber in there's a gamble. Nwaneri in there's a gamble. I'm going Timber. The one who's looked the best this season, who looks the most athletic, maybe capable in that position. I would chuck him in, allow us to see Calafiori in a full 90 with this backline as well. I see a lot of people cussing Gabriel. For me, I really don't see it. Against Aston Villa, I think it was a foul. I know that's me talking about the refs again. Split decision. For me, that's a foul. I don't really see anything he did there wrong. You know, the amount of times we've seen players turn their back, expect the contact, boom, fall over. It's a foul, whatever. Against Brighton, yes, he could have done better as well, but for me, that's Saliba and Ben White's miscommunication. Watch the goal again. You know, Ben White was more sort of that centre-back. Saliba was, you know, further near the touchline. Not by much, but just a little bit. They sort of crisscross because they have defenders going the other way, or attackers for Brighton going the other way. Miscommunication. They don't know if they're switching or not, if they're, you know, or if they're sort of switching positions, switching who they're defending, whatever. Saliba doesn't notice it. My man just runs straight through the middle. So I don't really look at Gabriel too much there. I'm still happy with him and Saliba together. I think defensively they're an absolute unit. If Rice was there as well, I think our midfield's a little bit more compact. That ball never makes it through. That ball never makes it through if we have all 11 players. So I don't think that's even an issue. I want to see Calafiori at left back for a full game. See if he has potential to take over that position. Allow Timber to go into that midfield. Maybe it allows us to have a little bit more options. Maybe Timber in the midfield, Rice at the base until Marino comes in. An option. Last one, left wing. What do we do? We've got Saka, we've got Havertz. I think they're definitely locks. Don't think. They're definitely locks. Trossard, again, started, ghosted most of the game. He should have had an assist. Was an absolutely beautiful cross to Odegaard. If Odegaard scores that, maybe we don't talk about this as much. You know, Trossard, one moment. Again, bang. Not necessarily the goal that we used to. Beautiful assist. We don't talk about him being ghosting. But I do like a little bit more from my wingers. A little bit more pace, a little bit more directiveness. You know, someone who offers a threat. Do we chuck Raheem Sterling in? Again, that midfield is already a gamble. So do we want really the whole left side? We haven't even seen Calafiori for a whole 90. So if he plays there, that whole left side is a gamble that has not played together. But maybe Sterling gives us the best chance to win. Maybe he does. You know, it would be up against Pedro Porro, right? I think he can get got at defensively. Trossard maybe doesn't have the pace to expose him. Martinelli's just been shaky for a while now. Maybe we chuck in Raheem. We're not as predictable. We're a bit more dynamic. Him, Timber, Calafiori on that left. That could be something there. That could be something. Please let me know what you do for that game. For me, I initially rejected the idea of Sterling starting. I think you slowly embed him. But I feel like with the amount of chaos already in this team, it's a tough away fixture. I think maybe just chuck him in there. A little bit less predictable. Just try and get at Tottenham. We need to win. We cannot afford to drop more points. You know, it's not a situation where we beat Brighton. We're 3 wins from 3. We can afford a slip up. I think we need to go win that game. Maybe Sterling gives us that best chance. But that's enough from me. Please let me know your thoughts. Let me know if I've been waffling the whole video, if I'm blaming the refs too much. Hopefully you don't think that, but we'll see. Please, more importantly than anything, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in that next one. Peace.